Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. So today we've got a very special tarot card reading, and this reading is for Stacy. So Stacy wants to know, well, she's had a situation with this guy for a good little minute now, and she just wants to know, does he really care? I mean, is he serious about a relationship with her, or is it really just all about the money and stuff? And he seems like he's been preoccupied with just financial and things on that end, and he just hasn't really been paying a whole lot of attention to her and her needs. So let's just kind of find out what the situation exactly is. So, just a quick shout out to the person that donated uh, some fresh tarot cards. Some of the tarot cards that I had. So, we've got this new tarot card deck right here. If you guys can see this or not. Oops. But anyways, these are really nice quality. They're all kind of along the same lines. And someone was gracious and donated these to us. As many of you guys know, I'm a monk, and this channel and really the work that we do is all done via donations. So your help, your support, it really does go a long way in helping us maintain this channel, maintain the work that we do as far as our service and that, and just basically keep us alive, keep us doing what we do. And if you'd like to be a part of helping us spread love for God, then you might consider donating or volunteering or helping us in some capacity. And if you want more information about how to do that, you can check out the description below this video. Sorry, I just had a notification pop up that distracted me. So anyway, the information will be down there. If you just want to donate, you can always go to helpbydonating.com. That's our donation website. It's helpbydonating.com. So I'm just going to focus now, put my attention where I really want it, which is on Stacy's tarot card reading, and see what we get from there. These cards are really cool. They're a little bit different than any other deck I've had. The card stock itself is a little bit thicker, so what we're going to do is let me just do a 3-card reading here. So this is a situational reading. To kind of get us inside the zone of the guy. So the first card that we arrive at is the 7 of Swords. I'll show you guys this. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it quite as well. It's the 7 of Swords right there. 7, of course, is a number of kind of introspection and kind of going inward and trying to find out like the true meaning of life. It's kind of a time of spiritual development and that kind of thing. But more importantly with this card, though, this is sometimes called the thief in the night. And so this person here, this person's kind of, it's not that they're really escaping, it's just that they're making a decision to kind of go it alone. And so that's part of what's going on here, but it doesn't mean that it's a permanent situation. In fact, if you look there, they've got some cards in the backdrop, 2 people. I'm seeing this as Stacy and her daughter. They're kind of keeping their focus on that. They've got other things that they're juggling, other things that they're taking with them right now as they kind of just keep an eye on those other things. So that's really where their focus is at, even though they may be involved or kind of right now kind of focused on other things, or they've been kind of focused on other things, but that attention is looking back in this particular case. So like in this particular situation and all, what I'm picking up intuitively is that this person, it's almost like a change of heart is kind of happening here, where the individual is really kind of, well, they're kind of focused on the heart, the matters of the heart. And it's less about the money now. So there's a shift happening. There's a change happening inside this person. Now, it's quite amazing what happens when we put love in front of everything else. When we put love in front of everything else, what happens is that it takes precedent and it takes power. And it elevates the situation into a wholly different direction. The impossible can become possible. So let's move on to the next card here. And this is another interesting card that we see in this particular reading. This is the Nine of Wands. Okay, let's look at that. Look at that. You see this person here, and they're toiling a little bit. They've been working really hard. There's that bandage kind of around the head. They're kind of leaning on that stick. I mean, they're exhausted. They've been putting in a lot of work, and they're exhausted. And, they've been taking a lot of action. Now, wands are really about action. Oftentimes it's creative type of action, but it's work. It's like really focusing on work and stuff. So what we're seeing with this, which kind of goes along with the other card and kind of what I was seeing, I'm picking up that this person is tired of putting in all this energy and all this effort and really not getting anything out of it. It's like you put a lot in, but you're not getting much out. And so as a result of that, it takes a toll on us. And so this person is fatigued. They're being worn down. And what's interesting is, what I think is really neat here is that Stacy's love and the energy, that loving energy and everything, that selflessness that she's been putting out there in order to attract this person that she cares a great deal about into her life, it's having an impact. It's having an effect. Now, am I saying that Stacy is wearing this person down with her love? Am I saying that? Kinda. So I am kind of putting that out there, kind of putting that into sort of a perspective here for us. But more than anything, it's not so much that. It's not that she's doing that intentionally. It's just that this person is trying to fight love, and it's really a difficult thing to do. We become powerless when people love us. When people want us in their life so much that they're just so selfless and they're just putting so much effort and so much energy into showing us what that love looks like in terms of their actions, it wears us down, And I mean, it's the same thing. It's just like the love of God is so powerful that what does it do? It really does affect so many people. I mean, it's just the way that happens. And the same thing happens in relationships when there's really, truly love involved. Now, there's that, we call it pseudo love or whatever you want to call it, where it's just kind of that, it's not really love as much as it is maybe like affection for someone, or trying to think of the word for it, but it's kind of like when we're infatuated. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's kind of, we're infatuated with somebody, but we're not really truly in love. Love is really about putting in the hard work. It's the energy, the effort. That's what Stacy's been doing, and I've been in touch with her for a bit now, and she's been really putting in a lot of effort, and that effort is working. And so that's really the cool thing about this, is that there may be some broken promises on his part, but love supersedes that. Love is beyond that. Shall we look at the next card and see what we've got here? You guys ready for this? All right, we got the Queen of Cups. So what are cups? Well, I want you to think of cups. I want you to think of relationships and also emotions and feelings and those kind of things. And the Queen of Cups is really, queens are really about influence, and it's that kind of indirect influence that we can have on someone. They'll let me kind of spell it out for you guys for a minute. Okay, so maybe you guys remember childhood, and this may not apply, this won't apply actually for every single person out there watching this video, perhaps. But by and large, if we look at the archetype of what a mother does, see, um, we have the mother, and she takes care of us. She loves us. She does everything for us. From everything from wiping us and cleaning us and feeding us and educating us and schooling us and teaching us and holding our hand when we're walking across the street to explaining, answering our questions. And she's there every single day, day in and day out. And she works really hard to make sure that we're okay and that everything is good for us, right? She does it selflessly, and her heart is in it. And her heart is in it so much that she doesn't mind doing the work. There are days probably where she might mind, but truthfully, at the end of the day, it's a labor of love, and that's really the key thing here is labor of love. But say, for example, like a young man or even a young woman for that matter, maybe is thinking about dating someone, and maybe the mother doesn't quite intuit that this person is really the best person for us, right? So what she might do is she might put it out there that she might just kind of subtly or indirectly tell us, hey, you might, I don't know, I'm just picking up maybe this person isn't really quote unquote the best person for you here, right? So, but do what you want to do. So that kind of indirection, that sort of that kind of subtlety, well, what does that do to us? Like when we hear that, it makes us think twice, right? And it kind of alerts us or opens us up to, maybe what's in our best interest. And that's what this card, this Queen of Cups, this is what the Queen really, it's that kind of influence is what this card is really all about. It's about that relationship influence and stuff on here. So when we see this Queen of Cups here, the way I want you to think about this is I want you to think of it as sort of like, okay, you know what? So stop for just a minute. Let's recap here. So what have we got here with this reading? Well, we've got Mr. Man, Mr. Guy here, right? And he's been focused in a certain direction, right? But then something happened. He met Stacy. Maybe he didn't originally have it in his heart, or maybe it wasn't really his true motivation to maybe be with her. But over time, this communication, this back and forth that's been happening with her and him, it's been like awakening his heart. Why? Because of her love and her action. She's done a lot for this guy. We won't go into the details of all of that. It's not really that important. But if you think about it from this idea, this perspective of like, she's really there for him. She's helping him. She's being there for him. And now, he's getting kind of worn down because of all of this. He doesn't, all this working and all this side stuff, it's not getting him anywhere. It's not really helping him anywhere. So what would be the best solution? It would be the easiest solution, right? And the easiest solution and the best solution and all, of course, is for that union to start happening, for them to get together. And then we have this Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very symbolic here because it represents Stacy and kind of where she's at. She's kind of having this indirect influence over him in every single way possible. And when you have that kind of an influence over someone, it doesn't matter, where their mind was at or their heart was at before. Things can shift on a dime. And that's what's happening here. So where is the relationship going? Where do we see all of this kind of coming about to? Well, it's very clear to me. I know it doesn't always day to day make sense, especially when, someone tells us or promises, I'm going to do this, and then they back out, or, they kind of resist, or they have second thoughts. And when that happens again and again, at some point, there's this inching closer and closer until eventually we get to this place of like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a chance here. The stars have aligned. Everything is the right moment. And in the right moment, that's where true change starts to really happen significantly fast. And it happens so fast that neither party, Stacy nor him, is really going to see what is what is really going on. Like, it's not going to really comprehend how fast. And so what happens is you get to a place, and then a year later you look back and you're like, how did we even get here? How did this materialize? How did this come about? And that's the way that this thing kind of works. So, Stacy, if you're listening here, and I hope you are, I know you are, don't give up your faith and don't quit doing what you're doing. It's always when we get to this, we're looking at the 9 of Wands here. It's always when we get to this place here. You got to understand what you're feeling, he's feeling also, right? You're exhausted. You've been putting a lot of work, a lot of effort here. You've loved him in a very significant way, more so than anybody else ever has. You don't know that, but he does, even if just subconsciously he understands it on some level. But what happens is when someone loves us so much and they put in so much effort and so much energy and they give us so much of themselves, they get worn down, but we also get worn down. So here is this, it's toiling, it's like we're just kind of, we want things to materialize. But right when you get on the cusp, we're talking the 9 here. 9 is right before the 10. 10 is when we start to see, kind of we're phasing out of one chapter and going into the next chapter is kind of that in-between period. That right there, this moment is when most people give up. This is where most people throw in the towel. Don't make that mistake. I mean, this is kind of like your opportunity not to have to make that mistake. Stay with it. Keep things going nicely and watch what miracles, well, I say miracles, watch just what happens. I mean, this is just a natural way of materializing things into our reality, into our life. And it just, this kind of stuff happens automatically for us. So, I know it's hard. I do. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people. I've done a lot of these tarot card readings over the years for people, and I've seen things, and I intuit things, and I get things, and I really feel things really strongly. And sometimes we can't always trust ourselves, But trust me when I tell you this. What you're doing is creating some kind of an affect, a change in him. And that change in him is good for both of you. Okay? So just trust that. And watch what materializes. You'll start to see, you're already seeing some shifts already happening. You've seen that over the last few weeks. There's been maybe some promises broken, this, that, and the other, but look at where you are now compared to where you were maybe like 6 months ago. Vastly different place, right? That's what I'm trying to share with you here. We're moving out of one chapter, and so certain things are happening, and it's setting yourself. You've already set yourself up, but you're setting yourself up really nicely now for the next chapter. That's what I'm really picking up. So, anyways, I really hope this tarot card reading helps you. Of course, I'm always here for you, love you, and as I do everyone here. Please, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm always here for you. Never hesitate. Some of you guys have reached out to me at like 9, 10 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock, midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Listen, it doesn't matter. If you're in a situation and you need to reach someone, and you need a friend, or you need someone there for you in your corner, even if it's just, Chandra here, your tarot coach, or a spiritual helper, whatever you want to call it. Don't worry. I'm not going to be upset. This is what I do. This is my service. This is what I do. I will always do my very best to be here for you. It's just, that's my mission, my calling. So, don't feel beaten up or bad or anything like that for reaching out. I'm here for you. So anyways, that's pretty much the reading. We can always do follow-up reading, or if you have any other specific questions or anything you'd like addressed, we can talk through those things, or we can do another reading, however you want to do it. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the channel. Again, if you want to support this channel and really the mission and what we do as monks here, help us spread love for God to others, regardless if you're religious or not, doesn't matter. Just help us do nice works for others. That's basically what we're doing is humanitarian work. Please consider doing a donation or something. If you guys would like to know, like if you want to send something, I put the address down below as well. Or you can reach out to me via email, and then I can send you the address, the physical address here. What we're really looking for, what we could really use right now is like some kind of a web camera that's a little bit higher quality. that we could use. That would be very helpful, very useful, and and you know, just maybe a little bit of money or something like that for some groceries that we can get this time of year as we're approaching winter time. Some dry goods like some lentils. We're all vegetarian and stuff here, by the way. So if you get anything, we don't do onion or garlic, and we don't do any eggs. But as far as dairy, that's fine. Or lentils. Lentils are really useful. Flours, grains, those kind of things are fine. But we make big meals, and we give this food away for free, basically. Well, through donation, but really, if people don't have the donation, I mean, they get the meal anyway. So, and that's really kind of where we're at with it. So, if you want to help us sponsor some of these meals that we do for people that just really can't afford to eat, or they just want some wholesome, nutritious, spiritual food to nourish their bodies, that's very helpful to us as well. And so just anything you can do to help would be greatly appreciated. This time of year, financially, things get a little bit weaker for us, just as far as the income and stuff goes. So if you want to help, that would be really great. You can just go to helpbydonating.com, give whatever you can. And I'll definitely, if you want me to mention you or reach out to you or something like that, or if you want just a tarot card reading or something in exchange or something, we're always down for that as well. So anyways, but much love and many blessings to you. We will see you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge. Thanks so much.